trade planner, if done correctly, is everything. I guarantee you, if you do your trade planner correctly, you can prevent every one of those mistakes happening every single time. You can be a zero mistake guy, 100%. There's no reason why you can't. Now imagine that. Imagine being in a position, I'm not saying you never lose, I'm saying you never make mistakes. Imagine being at a place where you don't make those stupid mistakes. You're not getting in overcommitted. You're not getting into trades that you shouldn't be in. That you are trading emotionlessly with every single trade. And when you have your losses, they're just part of that equation because you know the momentum of trading, you understand how it works. Imagine being like that. Well, you can be like that. I only covered the trade planner in step 3, I think it was, in one particular video. It was video 7, I'm not sure. And although there was enough information there for you to get a good grasp of it, I don't know that you know how important it is. Those of you that have utilized it and have utilized it consistently for a period of time and long enough that it is able to give you information that you can now refer back to. You got to excuse me, I'm really struggling here, but I've got to do this. I've got to finish these videos. You've been waiting around for a month while I've been suffering with this pig flu. So, yeah, I just have to do this. So just please forgive me when I stumble on words at the moment, but I'm just not all here. But it is that simple. I said in that video, I started this in 1999 or something, keeping those little, and I did it all by hand. And after a month or so, I now had, I don't know, 50, 60 trades in there. And I could go back and I could analyze 50, 60 trades that told me exactly what I did, what I was thinking, why I did that, where I got in, where I got out, what time of day I was trading, where the results were. And I could analyze a heap of stuff. And I could see that at certain times of day, I traded better. Whether it was because of the market conditions, or whether it's because I was more comfortable, or I worked, I functioned better at that time of day, it doesn't matter. I could see results. I could see information that I could utilize. And of course, I could see where I was making emotional mistakes or having a poor trader's mindset and allowing those errors to creep in. And I could address it. I could say, right, this week I'm aware that last month on 6 occasions I got out too early because I was nervous. All right, and I can say, right, how do we address that? Have I looked at the possible probability of this trade? Have I analyzed the exit strategy comprehensively? And looking back at those particular 6 trades, what happened? What was the inevitable outcome? Did 5 of those trades reach their target? How much money did I leave on the table versus what I took in running scared? Okay, so you understand what I'm getting at there. So that's it, the trade planner. That's it, 100%. And I did a survey this last week. I can't remember, 85, 86% of traders said their number one problem, their number one, nothing else mattered, but discipline and consistency was what let them down. Discipline and consistency, number one problem. How do you master discipline? How do you become consistent? A trade planner? I mean, how much easier can it be? Discipline is there if you have a trade planner and you wait for every criteria to be set up. How can you not be disciplined? How can you not be consistent in applying the methodology correctly if you have that trade planner? You're going to be. All right, and that's the solution to everything. And that'll eliminate 85% of every trader's fear. Okay. What does a plan do? A plan gives you rules to apply, firstly. It gives you stats to measure. It gives you guidelines. And it gives you a map. It gives you direction. It allows you to know where you're going. That's what a plan is, and it's that comprehensive. When I say a trade planner, I don't mean a measure of your system criteria. I mean a trade planner. A trade planner that is comprehensive, that will encompass a measure of everything, a measure of your trading environment, a measure of your emotional state, a a measure of your money management parameters, a measure of your system criteria, and a measure of your effectiveness in the end of the day. Alright. Any particular profession, any particular sport endeavour, same old story. The best of the best. The guys at the top of their games, the professionals, the gurus, the ninjas. They're guys that know exactly what they want. And they consistently do what matters. They only do what works. They focus on what works. They don't mess around and reinvent the wheel and do other stuff. Excuse me. Think of a professional racing driver. I looked at the Grand Prix the other day, and if you watch those professional racing drivers, they practice lap after lap after lap. They've got a team of analysts analysing every single aspect of the car's performance, of the driver's performance, of the tyres' performance, of the weather conditions. They really know what they're looking for. That driver knows to within 100th of a second where he has to start applying brakes at every single corner, and where he has to start putting the pedal down and getting some acceleration going. He doesn't try different tactics. He doesn't try and brake a half second earlier or accelerate too soon in the corner. There's a strategy. There's a set of rules. There's proven principles that work. They know that's what it takes. And the person that pulls it off the best, the driver that is the most consistent in the application of applying brake and acceleration and control and staying the most focused. I think it was, who was I referred to this one of the videos that I was watching, and he just won the Grand Prix. And he just said, it was Monaco. He just said that it was one of those tracks where if you took your mind off the track in front of you for even a few seconds, if you saw yourself on the podium before you actually crossed that finish line, you were in danger of writing yourself off. That's how intense that course was. It took every ounce of focus. Tight course, high speeds, cannot make a mistake. You can't wander off somewhere. And that's really what it boils down to with this as well, is that there are rules, there are guidelines, there are things that work. You've got to stick to them, and you've got to stick to them consistently. You don't have a team of analysts. What you have is you. You must be your worst critic. You must be your engineer. And you must be the IT guy that sits there analysing every little computer feedback from the engine performance. You've got to do that. And to do that, you need your trade planner. But you need to apply it correctly. Right. Alright, I think I've mentioned that. I go on about this racing driver a bit, so I don't think I need to say more. Well, what I have said here is a pro. Right, there's a recipe for success in any sport. As a pro, though, he has to go above his ego. He has to be able to apply the consistent rules and the consistent approach that has been proven time after time in the training sessions. He knows exactly what he has to do. He cannot become heated on the day and suddenly want to do it differently because he feels that he can do something. That's when mistakes happen. Alright, so you've got to be like that. Take your ego out of it. Be cold, analytical, and make the right decisions for the right reason.